Hi everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself, Vaibhav. In today's session, the price action is all driven by the technical assessment in absence of any market moving releases on the economic data front from major economies of the world. The thing that is catching the market participants' fancy is radioactive, literally speaking. The uranium is finding a lot of buyers' interest as analysts are expecting a shortfall in energy generation from renewable sources of energy, and that has resulted in the spike of prices of uranium as well as the related stocks. In equity space, most of the major equity indices were up for the day in the initial hours of US trading session, but that has proven more of retracement, and now we are witnessing bears gaining the upper hand as day is progressing. Since we don't really have much economic data to dissect, we will turn our attention to the technical straight away. GBP is one of the currency which are holding strongly against the US dollar today. My assessment is its current price level above 1.3800 is going to be crucial, and if it is able to hold above it in the initial part of this week, we are pretty much likely to see it climbing higher towards the price level of 1.4000 in coming days. We will see how we can take advantage of this situation unfolding in GBPUSD. So let us now turn to the technical analysis for the GBPUSD first, and after that we will also take a look on the USD JPY, which has been holding closer to 110. In Friday's session, I had talked about the possibility of USD JPY declining on the lower side towards 109, but today it is in no mood to go downhill. Rather than that, it climbed up in the Asian trading session, but after that, it has been barely able to hold above 110. And I think if it is not really able to sustain these gains, we are more likely to see it receding lower. So we will see how we can look for new trades and what are the optimal price levels. Let's start the technical segment with GBPUSD. This is the daily time frame chart, and here you can see that we have this double bottom kind of formation around 1.36, and this time around, if we look closely enough, the low form is above the prior swing low, so that gives us a price formation of a higher low, and that opens up the possibility of a higher high being formed in coming days. And if we consider the price action of last week, we saw that the earlier gains, the initial gains of the week were reversed, and by the Friday we had seen the GBPUSD climbing higher, closer to the week's high, and though it closed lower, closer to 1.1, 1.385, I am not really expecting to again see a break in the GBP/USD below this immediate swing low. So it is going to be interesting to see how the GBP/USD reacts and how the price action unfolds in next couple of days. And in near term, 1.3800 is going to be the price area of interest for us. And I feel if it is able to hold above this confluence of these two SMAs, where we have 10 EMA holding above the 20 EMA, that is also considered as a bullish marker. We are in a position, we are going to be in position to take advantage of this situation and start looking for the buy trades while trying to optimize the entry. So if we have to consider the price level which we can utilize as a marker, then the central pivot point area of around 1.378 to 1.3800 is going to be not important, and we have this immediate swing low also. So this time around, we don't really want the GBPUSD to break below this prior swing low, and as long as it is holding well above it, we can be confident of continuation of this upward momentum which has been observed in the GBPUSD since it formed a low closer to 1.3600. And if we consider the pivot point formation, we have this first resistance in place closer to 1.395, and we can expect the GBPUSD to start climbing towards that, but in near term we will have to be cautious and we do have to optimize our entry and exit, and for that we can rely on these central pivot point price area. And if we consider the regression curve has now inclined sharply on the higher side as we had this kind of sharp reversal after steep decline towards 1.3600, and from there on the GBP didn't really take many days to climb back, almost 250 pips. So we are in a position to expect the continuation of this trajectory of gains, and we can count on that and we can try to take advantage of it. So for optimizing entry and exit, we can utilize these SMA formation where we have these two SMAs converging around 1.38. If we have to rely on these SMAs, I think the stop loss is going to be quite sharp. We don't really have to go with a wide stop loss. The stop loss can be kept closer to these immediate swing low. So for entry anywhere above the 1.3800, we will be in position to keep the stop loss closer to this immediate swing low. And if we don't really see any break on the lower side, and if the UBPUSD is able to hold above the day's low, then I think we can go for a new trade here and we can expect the GBPUSD to climb above this immediate swing high, which is there just barely below the price level of 1.3900. So that trade is going to get us the risk reward ratio of around 1 is to 2 or even better than that if you are willing to wait and wait for GBPUSD to eventually climb towards 1.400, as that is going to be our ultimate goal for GBPUSD. Now let's see what's happening, what's unfolding in USD JPY and how it changes the picture from Friday. In Friday's session, we had seen the USD JPY gaining ground after making a low closer to 109.6, and it went on to close the day closer to 109.9. And in today's session, it did manage to climb above 110, but it hasn't been able to sustain. And now we have seen the reversal of sort happening from the higher side. So we have to be cautious here and we will have to mostly rely on near-term charting, the short time frame charting to go for the trade to determine which way to trade. So for the USD JPY, this price area of around central pivot point is important. And so far, if we consider last 2 weeks, we have seen USD JPY holding closer to this central pivot point. That gives us the hope of continuation of this sideways trajectory, and I think for any big decline to occur, it will have to decline below this central pivot point and hold on the lower side. So unless and until that happens, I think it is not really a good idea to go short in the USD JPY. We will need the break below this immediate swing low. So the ideal price area to go short in the USD JPY is going to be around 109.70 to 109.60. So far in the day, we have seen muted price action, so we can't make a clear-cut case to go long either. But if we see the USD JPY holding well above the center pivot point, and if we observe any kind of buying momentum in tomorrow's session, then I think we can even look for scalping kind of trading opportunities where we can expect the USD JPY to hold above the central pivot point and at least try to climb toward these immediate swing high that will be in continuation of this near-term sideways trajectory, and we can count on these immediate swing low as to act as the stop loss. So here we will have to rely on these SMA formation where we are seeing these two SMAs, the 50 and 100 SMAs converging closer to 110. And only if it is able to sustain above these 200 SMAs, I think we should go for a buy trade. Otherwise, as I said, we will have to look for shorting opportunities, but not at the current price valuations. We will have to wait for it to drop further, and the entry closer to 109.7 is going to be more profitable in my assessment. And in that case, if we are shorting it on the lower side, we can utilize this convergence zone of these three SMAs to act as the marker point, and we can keep our stop loss just little above it. So we will have to take the risk of around 30 to 40 pips while shorting it, and we can expect the USD JPY to eventually decline towards 1.9. But a lot depends on how the day closes and how we get to see the opening hours of tomorrow's session. The Asian trading hours are going to be crucial for any assessment of the trading opportunities in USD JPY. So that's my take looking at the current price formation of the USD JPY. If any of you have any idea to share, you can write back to me in the feedback section. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. For further coverage of the market developments, you can check out the Lucascape Analytics page. For starting to trade, the JForex platform is available at your service. We are also available on the Facebook. Do follow our Facebook page. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.